National Police Service Commission in a countrywide recruitment exercise targeting 10,000 new police officers. Chaos at the University of Nairobi following a disputed student leaders election. And President Uhuru Kenyatta set for talks with French President in Paris. Those are definitely some of the top stories we have this hour. Good afternoon and many thanks for joining us on KTN Newsdesk. My name is Akisa Wandera. The National Police Service Commission is seeking to recruit 10,000 new people in a bid to enhance security in the country. Past exercises have been marred by cases of bribery and favorism, eliciting wide condemnation from the public. The Independent Policing Oversight Authority IPOA report released in 2014 indicated that police recruitment in that year was marred by corruption and unaccountability, which led to the filing of a petition to have the process cancelled and repeated afresh. In November last year, the High Court nullified the recruitment of over 10,000 police recruits and ordered the National Police Service Commission to conduct the exercise afresh. Let's now join our political reporter Murimi Mwangi with the latest from the recruitment exercise.
So the recruitment of the 10,000 police constables as directed by President Uhuru Kenyatta earlier last month has officially kicked off across the country in the constituency-based recruitment centers. Qualifications, interestingly, this time is not only a minimum of a mid-grade of a D+, but an equivalent of a D+ in either English or Kiswahili. No, the verification exercise is being undertaken keenly to, of course, ensure that there's no ugly incidents or cases of corruption or cases that might see the exercise being overturned at a later stage. You remember last year the courts had to nullify the recruitment of over 8,000 recruits over what was called the glaring anomalies that had been reported in the exercise that was conducted nationally.
Na vitu zingine wanachuja watu, kitu kidogo, kitu kama birth certificate inafanya unatoka na umequalify kila kitu kwa national ID. Hauwezi kuwa na national ID na certificate zote na hukuzaliwa.
If they lack that identification, then definitely we cannot allow them to undertake the exercise.
The main reason nilitolewa ni kwa sababu sikuwa na payment card. Na nilikuwa nimequalify hizo vitu zote lakini sikuwa na payment card. I was among the first na imeniuma sana.
Not had any problem. But even if the turnout, the number is so big, we believe by the end of the day we will be through with the exercise.
Tunashangaa sana juu serikali ilitutoa kule nyumbani na ikatuleta kwa NYS. Kwa sasa yale mashida tunapitia ni mengi sana, ndio maana tumekuja kujaribu kazi. Hakuna kazi, wengine tulikuwa tumeandikwa, tukaacha kazi tukakuja kutukiwa volunteer, na sasa tuwateseka sana huku. Serikali inafai tuangalie vizuri.
The ongoing recruitment exercise is of course part of the long-term government strategy to fight terror, which has increasingly been the security nightmare for the country, and the president has been categorical that the only way to fight terrorism in this country, of course apart from the sensitization of the people, is to have adequate security officers being attached to the wananchi across the country.
Na kazi, mimi kuja kutafuta tu kazi yani. Ni kazi ndio tumelaka hapa Kenya.
My name is Murimi Mwangi.
Thank you very much, Murimi Mwangi, for that report. That is an ongoing exercise in various parts of the country, and we will be striving to keep you up to date on. Moving on, National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi has called upon the opposition to stop the early campaigns and instead focus on development and delivering services to the community ahead of the 2017 polls. Muturi said that the opposition should stop keeping the country on a campaign mode for a whole 5 years instead of looking for ways to transform their areas of jurisdiction. Speaking at Tharaka Nithi Boys High School during a fundraiser, the speaker said that campaigns should be left for the last 6 months of an election year and not engaging the public in campaigns with nothing to show for it.
You can't put the country on a campaign mode for 5 years. Tunaharibu wakati wa kutumikia wananchi ni mgani. Na unaona rais na makamu wake ile kazi wanafanya ni ya kuhudumia Wakenya.
Deputy President William Ruto is optimistic that the case against him at the International Criminal Court will soon end. The ICC is tomorrow expected to rule on an application for a no case to answer motion in which Ruto and his co-accused radio journalist Joshua Arap Sang want their case terminated. The Hague-based court last week announced that the decision will be notified only in writing and no hearing will be held. The decision will be filed by 6 p.m. Kenyan time. Ruto and former radio journalist Joshua Arap Sang are accused of crimes against humanity consisting of murder, deportation or forcible transfer of population and persecution allegedly committed during the 2007-2008 post-election violence.
Mimi na Bwana Sang na tunaamini Mungu aliye hai kwamba mambo haya yatakuwa nyuma yetu hivi karibuni na Kenya itapiga hatua.
If ICC is looking at the law, if they are basing their decision on law and facts, we are confident that on Tuesday is the day that will be the end for us talking about you and Mheshimiwa Arap Sang going to the Hague. There is a political arm of ICC that is trying to cook for an alternative decision other than that is based in the law. And we want to tell Zhao Musao and his agents and the ICC, because that information was from the political wing of ICC. Kenyans are not ready, are willing for their own two sons to be used as example of a court that is trying to fail.
Various reactions are there on the expected ruling by the ICC tomorrow on the no case to answer. And joining us now is our political reporter, Chris Thairu, who is joining us from Eldoret, which we could say is the backyard for Deputy President William Ruto. Chris, what is the general mood of the population ahead of this ruling?
Well, it's a moment that Kenyans are waiting. Remember that these are cases that have been going on for years. And here, noting that this is the political backyard of the Deputy President, William Ruto. You'll, of course, expect residents here to have that the cases will finally be closed, and that come tomorrow, the judges will rule that he has no case to answer. But also, it's also a challenge to the Jubilee government to ensure that even as the cases, even as we wait for tomorrow and going on, even as we head to the next general elections, that there is unity among Kenyans and among different communities, and they live in harmony. And that has been one of the issues that Jubilee regime really campaigned come in the last general elections with a promise that they unite all communities.
Now, Chris, this is a very big case for Kenya and for ICC as well, as it seeks to remain relevant. What are some of the expectations that the people have before tomorrow?
Well, as I said, actually, here I am because I'm in Eldoret town. The expectations is that come tomorrow, the Deputy President and also former radio journalist Joshua Arap Sang, they will have no case to answer. The judges will rule that they have no case to answer. And that has been the expectations here. Remember, the Deputy President was also here yesterday for a Sunday service, accompanied by other leaders. But of interest is the sentiments that were echoed by or were made by some of the leaders who had accompanied the Deputy President, insisting that if at all the ICC rules that both the Deputy President and also Sang have a case to answer, then that will be the end of their relationship between ICC and Kenya. Remember, it's not the first time that Kenya has tried, or the National Assembly has tried to remove the country, or that's Kenya, from the Rome Statute. Remember, it's also a member of the Rome Statute. And come tomorrow evening, depending on how the ICC judges, it still remains a historic moment for both the ICC and also the country.
Thank you very much, Chris, for that report. That is our reporter, Chris Tairu, joining us from Eldoret, where he is seeking to get views of the people, look at the general mood of the people ahead of the ICC ruling on a no case to answer against Deputy President William Ruto and radio journalist Joshua Arap Sang, something we will definitely be keeping you up to date on. But moving on, President Uhuru Kenyatta is today expected to hold bilateral talks with the French President Francois Hollande. The meeting is expected to focus on peace and security in the Horn of Africa region, especially Somalia, counter-terrorism and radicalization issues. The two are also set to talk about increased trade and investments between Kenya and France, tourism and cooperation in various places, including various sectors, including energy, health, education and agriculture. President Uhuru will also visit the French Crisis Management Center and the headquarters of French intelligence services with a view to learn how the French handle security crisis. France, like Kenya, has been a recent target of terrorism, the latest being the killing of 130 people in Paris last November. The visit to France could also give Kenya an opportunity to bring up the issues of the oil pipeline from Uganda.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, wonderful.
Well, like all high-level visits, this is a visit that is a marker for where our relationship with France is today. As you know, France is the 6th largest investor into Kenya. It is the biggest investor, the largest one, into the East African region, if you take cumulatively the countries of the East African region. We consider France actually a partner, not a donor, because most of the activities, most of the work that we have been doing with France, right, has been work that we're doing together, not the kind of activities and work that happen when it's a donor-recipient relationship. We are also countries that have been affected by terrorism, and therefore you can expect that there will be very high-level discussions around security and the kind of support that we can give to each other as we go through this very dangerous period in the history of mankind.
Let us now take a short break, but don't go too far. We still have a lot lined up for you on KTN Newsdesk. Welcome back. You are watching KTN Newsdesk. Now, police at this hour are engaged in running battles with the University of Nairobi students who are demonstrating along city streets protesting the outcome of student leaders' elections that saw long-serving SONU chairman Babu Owino re-elected. Police are using tear gas canisters to disperse the rioting students. Babu Owino says he won the election fair and square and is wondering why his opponent, who came in fourth, is sponsoring the riots. Here are pictures from the University of Nairobi and adjacent roads. And as that happens, in a rejoinder, Deputy Vice Chancellor Student Affairs at the University of Nairobi has condemned the attacks, saying those aggrieved should seek alternative ways, lodging their complaints instead of rioting. Here is his earlier statement.
We have been thinking that when you have a manual election, some incidents happen. But I think it is possible that this whole exercise can be done through digital process where students can vote, and in fact the results will be received, and these issues will be eliminated. We have of course been trying to convince the students to accept that this is the best way to go. But of course, these things sometimes take time in order to sensitize the students so that they can accept, and we eliminate all these things which sometimes happen when you are actually using a manual process.
And joining us now from our city center studios is the newly elected SONU student leader whose election is being contested currently or being protested against. Joining us is Babu Owino, just to take a look at the situation right now at the University of Nairobi. Babu Owino, this is not the first time you've won an election. Why are we seeing such scenes this time round? Babu Owino, thank you very much for joining us on a KTN Newsdesk. This is not the first time you are winning an election at the University of Nairobi. What might have prompted the reaction we are getting right now?
Thank you very much. This is Babu Owino, the SONU chairman, the duly elected SONU chairman and fairly elected SONU chairman. And as a SONU chairman, we went for elections on Friday. We did our elections. We have 11 campuses, colleges in the University of Nairobi. We have Parklands campus, where I come from. We have Lower Kabete. We have Kikuyu campus. We have Upper Kabete campus. We have Kenya Science campus. We have College of Architecture and Engineering. We have Chiromo campus. And we have CHS, College of Health Sciences. Then we also have main campus. As Babu Owino, I won in 10 colleges out of 11 colleges, with a total of 18,000 votes. The person who was close to me is called Siraj Muhammad, who became second with a total of 3,000 votes. Mike Jacobs, who is now inciting students in main campus, became a distant fourth with 2,027 votes. It leaves one to wonder, if I got 18,000 votes, why would there be demonstration? There's demonstration because one, of my political ambitions in Embakasi East constituency, where my opponents have been constantly using Mike Jacobs, financing him, and this is not the first time. Even before elections, there were demonstrations. A few section of students were chanting that Babu must go. This is democracy, and the students have expressed their democracy. The change that the students wanted is me here. I'm the change that the students wanted. The fact that the demonstration took place is a normal thing, because these are things that happen every year. Every electioneering period in SONU, some people must contest the results. Contesting the results in main campus is not the right thing to do, because there's the right channel to follow. They should petition the results if they have a problem. And all in all, I'm the chairman of SONU. I'm calling for peace. All students should be peaceful. We're having examinations in a week's time. Let us accept the results and move on. For those who are brought from outside,
came in third. Babu, let me cut you short. Mike Jacobs came in third, and this is not the first time we're hearing you have issues with him. Is it personal, and why him?
Sorry?
Are the issues surrounding your election and Mike Jacob as well personal? Because this is not the first time we are getting issues from both of you. A while back, we got a video of a confrontation, I could say, of the two of you. What really is going on? Is it more than what meets the eye?
Let me tell you something. I was at Shell petrol station and I advised the police, I advised members of the public, I advised the media to look for CCTV footage that was at Shell petrol station. We also got the CCTV footage and we sent it around social media, and you could see who came to confront who. I was in my car when Mike came with a group of 5 goons, 1 students, to confront me. But because if a man bites a dog, it is news. But if a dog bites a man, it's not news. So it's only part of Babu Owino that was edited and put around while I was defending myself out of the provocation from Mike Jacobs. All in all, we've won SONU elections. I'm the SONU chairman, and the students should know that. My opponents come together, we work, we serve our students. If you don't want and you want to express your grievances in the streets, you can go ahead. Every day you can demonstrate. It is your constitutional right, but do not destroy university properties.
You've been caught on camera dishing out money while the elections were ongoing. Were you bribing voters in the school?
When you look at the date of the video, it is not during the campaign season. I was a SONU chairman. When I was a SONU chairman, I went to Kenya Science Campus. I was giving my students something because those are my students and I was serving them. They told me, Babu, as a chairman, you've come to visit us. You rarely come here. Please make sure that today we have something for our daily bread. I decided to give them. It is not a mistake if I give my students something to eat. The period was not a time for campaigns. I was a SONU chairman.
So you have not bribed any voters during the election period?
That wasn't during a campaign period. It was when I was a SONU chairman. So people reporting in social media, let them be very careful on what they report on.
Your officers have been burnt in the ongoing protest against your election. How are you about to handle that as chairman?
This is an easy thing. Every campus in the University of Nairobi has SONU offices. Our main office is in Lower Kabete campus. That was one of the offices for main campus representatives. It is also a SONU office that serves the interest of the students. And what I would like to say is that it is not good to ban university property if you have grievances. But all in all, because the number 4, who was a main campus representative, Mike Jacobs, feels that if he bans the SONU office, then that is the best way to go, then he can go ahead and even ban the university towers if he feels like. But we've won the SONU elections.
There has been allegations that this particular election period has a political hand. What do you have to say about that? Is deeply involved in the University of Nairobi elections? Are politicians involved as well?
Yeah. What I can say without an iota of doubt is that the aspirants, one namely Buto George from Embakasi East, it is alleged that he used to meet Mike almost on a daily basis at night, and he was funding Mike heavily because Mike wasn't initially even in the race for the chairmanship. He came only 3 weeks to elections. Mike never campaigned in any campus apart from main campus, where he won with a very slight margin of votes. Tomorrow, if I want to take my people to celebrate victory in the streets, I will do so. But we don't have to do so because the streets is too small for us. University of Nairobi has 84,000 students. Only less than 300 students were demonstrating. Does it show that the University of Nairobi students did not accept Babu? I got so many votes, and if I want to take the 18,000 students to celebrate my victory in the streets, I will take them to celebrate the victory. So I'm not surprised by the issue that they are demonstrating.
Babu Owino right there joining us from our City Center studios. That is a conversation we will get into as we continue with our bulletin. Just see the situation from the University of Nairobi, his side of the story. And of course, some students will also be speaking to us. We have reporters in the field following that story up for us. Our top story this hour, the Police Commission is seeking to recruit 10,000 new police officers in a bid to enhance security in the country. Past exercises have been marred by cases of bribery and favorism, eliciting wide condemnation from the public. The Independent Policing Oversight Authority report released in 2014 indicated that Police recruitment in that year was marred by corruption and accountability, which led to the filing of a petition to have the process cancelled and repeated afresh. That is the top story for us this hour. We are following up on that, but that is all we had lined up for you on a KTN Newsdesk. Many thanks for joining us. We will be getting back into the discussion we had earlier with Babu Owino with regards to the University of Nairobi elections. Don't go too far. Join us on a KTN News for more on that. My name is Akisa Wandera. Have a lovely afternoon and keep it KTN News.